Life has never been kind to Caleb Drake. A Vietnam War veteran, Caleb's journey began with simple dreams, a quiet life in his hometown, and a future with the girl he loved. But the war changed everything. Before leaving, Caleb promised his sweetheart, Evelyn, that he'd return and they'd build a life together. Yet life rarely follows the plans we make. 10 long years in Vietnam kept Caleb away, and when he finally returned, he discovered Evelyn had moved on. She had married someone else and started a family. Caleb was left with nothing but the weight of broken dreams. In the years that followed, Caleb tried to rebuild. He applied to the police academy, hoping his military service would count for something. But rejection after rejection left him defeated. With no other options, Caleb turned to selling hot dogs, scraping by one day at a time. Even this humble livelihood was eventually stolen from him when a slick new food truck rolled into town, taking all his customers. It was the final blow that sent Caleb into a wandering, aimless existence. Years later, Caleb, now a quiet drifter, found himself on a city bus. He was minding his own business when two unruly teenagers began harassing an elderly passenger. Something stirred within Caleb, the memory of his younger self, a boy who had once believed in protecting others, pushed him to act. With swift determination, he intervened, defending the old man and teaching the troublemakers a lesson they wouldn't forget. Unbeknownst to Caleb, passengers on the bus captured the entire incident on their phones. By the next day, Caleb was an internet sensation. The world had found a new hero, a badass who stood up for what was right. His face was everywhere, on t-shirts, murals, and talk shows. For the first time in years, Caleb felt seen. But fame was fleeting. Only months later, his mother passed away, leaving him her modest home and a loyal dog named Max. While settling into this new chapter, Caleb reconnected with an old war buddy, Henry Doc Washington. Doc had been there during Caleb's darkest days, and their bond was unshakable. Before long, Doc handed Caleb a mysterious USB drive, urging him to keep it safe. Neither man realized the storm it would unleash. One fateful evening, Doc went out for cigarettes and never returned. He was ambushed by two thugs, Reese and Leon, who demanded the USB drive. When Doc refused to cooperate, the encounter turned deadly. News of Doc's murder shook Caleb to his core. He demanded answers from the police, but their progress was agonizingly slow. Frustrated, Caleb decided to take matters into his own hands. His investigation began at the crime scene, where he found a locket and spent bullet casings. The locket contained a photo of a woman, which led Caleb to Terrence, a known criminal with ties to Doc's killers. Tracking Terrence down wasn't easy, but Caleb's persistence paid off. Terrence, under pressure, revealed the truth. Doc had stolen the USB drive from his former employer, a powerful crime lord named Victor Panther LaRue. The drive contained damning evidence of corruption tied to Mayor Everett Williams, a man who had been exploiting the community for years. Doc had planned to expose the truth, but his bravery cost him his life. Caleb knew he had to finish what Doc started. With the help of his teenage neighbor Liam, Caleb discovered that Panther was hell-bent on recovering the USB drive. The stakes were higher than ever, and Caleb prepared himself for a showdown. His search led him to Panther's hideout, where he was ambushed and captured. Panther's men tortured Caleb, desperate for the location of the drive, but Caleb's resolve was unbreakable. Using the smallest window of opportunity, he escaped, setting the hideout ablaze as he fled. Panther, enraged, decided to strike where it would hurt most: Caleb's home. Arriving there, Panther threatened Caleb's neighbor, Sarah, and her son, Liam. But Caleb, battered and determined, arrived just in time. A fierce battle ensued, spilling from the house to the street. Caleb fought with every ounce of strength left in him, fueled by the memory of all he'd lost and the justice he sought. In the end, Caleb emerged victorious. Panther was defeated, and the police, armed with the evidence on the USB drive, arrested Mayor Williams. Justice was finally served, thanks to Caleb's relentless pursuit of the truth. Caleb's story is one of resilience, a man who had every reason to give up, but chose instead to fight for what was right. In the process, he found purpose, community, and redemption. Caleb, Sarah, and Liam began a new chapter together, proving that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can prevail. The moral of Caleb's journey: sometimes the most unexpected heroes are the ones who have endured the most. And with courage, even the smallest acts can lead to extraordinary change.